Rule number 6. Does reciprocal intervention interfere? Reciprocal intervention is the inability of the opposite muscle group to be loaded simultaneously as the brain sends inhibitory synapse to the muscle opposite the muscle under load, preventing it from being activated. An example for this would be when performing a standard dumbbell curl. As the bicep contracts, it sends an excitatory synapse to be registered by the spinal cord, which in turn sends back an inhibitory synapse to the triceps to prevent its engagement in the movement. So what this means is that our muscles act in pairs and coordinate with each other by simultaneously relaxing and contracting as a protective measure to help keep us safe from injury. If both opposing muscles were to fire simultaneously, not allowing the other to relax, a tear in the muscle probably would occur. So let's take a look at this with the tricep kickback as an example. Most of you are familiar with the tricep kickback. When you're performing the dumbbell triceps kickback, you would be standing upright, bent at 90 degrees roughly at the hip, allowing your torso to be parallel with the floor as well as your upper arm bone. The tricep would be opposite the floor. The active lever in this case is the forearm, which at the beginning of the movement will be hanging straight down, parallel with gravity, perpendicular with the floor, not placing a load on either the bicep or the tricep. That's because your forearm, again, is neutral with gravity. The rear deltoid is actually the muscle which will be holding your arm in that position, just kind of dangling there. If you were to take your hanging forearm and move it in the direction towards your face, outside of the invisible line of gravity, you would be loading the bicep with weight, although inefficiently. You'd be loading the bicep because the forearm lever is now active and is more perpendicular with gravity. Now, if you were to take the hanging forearm and pull it backwards towards your back and your butt, you would be loading the triceps with weight. When performing the triceps kickback exercise, you begin half the movement by activating the bicep, or even just swinging it forward using momentum and using that momentum to pull it back. This would be deactivating the triceps when you activate the biceps. And then the second half of the movement activates the triceps, again, although very inefficiently as it's outside of alignment and the resistance curve. And this will be deactivating the bicep as the tricep is now engaged. Now, I know this sounds efficient to some, but it's actually the exact opposite. Neither muscle is receiving a full load in the correct resistance curve, and the deactivation of the biceps and tricep during the movement is really counterproductive. Now, this is important for you to understand, as the levers in your body have opposing muscle groups, and they should not be attempted to be trained at the same time. This causes a lack of efficiency, increases the risk of injury. It's just not good. Don't do it. So let's move on to